So 4 wins out of 4, 7 unbeaten away in the Premier League, and St Totteringham's Day coming even closer. This is the Crystal Palace versus Arsenal match review. Hello, my name is Richard. Welcome back to my channel over and over and over again. In this video, I'm going to look back on last night's victory away at Crystal Palace. I say our 4th Premier League win in a row and the 7th away game in a row that we haven't lost in the Premier League. And of course, we're very, very close now, aren't we, to getting the first St Totteringham's Day for 5 years. Exciting times indeed. And we'll look at the team lineup. We're going to analyse the performance, and I'm also going to select a man of the match. Before I get into all that, I just want to make sure that you are subscribing to my channel. If you do enjoy what I do, some generally positive Arsenal content, I do feature the Arsenal women and also look at the history of the club as well. Please click the subscribe button down in the corner there. It is completely free of charge. It does help the channel to reach a larger audience. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like as well. Please share the content around. And if you've got any comments at all to make about last night's performance, the last game of the season coming up at the weekend against Brighton, and of course the possibility of another St Totteringham's Day, please drop your comments in the box below, as I do love to hear from you guys as well. So in terms of the lineup then, Mikel Arteta went back to the back four that he's favoured after the 3 against Chelsea. So we lined up like this. It was Bernd Leno in goal again. I maybe thought Matt Ryan perhaps should have got a game, but anyway, it was Bernd Leno again. The back four this time, so it was Chambers at right back, Holding and Gabriel were the 2 centre backs, and Kieran Tierney was at left back. The 2 in midfield, Thomas Partey was again partnered by Mohamed El Neni. Granit Xhaka only fit enough for the bench on this particular occasion. And in the front four, Smith Rowe was in the number 10, Saka was on the left, Pepe was on the right, and it was Aubameyang through the centre. I was a little bit disappointed that maybe Martinelli wasn't included in the starting lineup, but he was on the bench and he would come on to great effect later on, as you can see in the picture behind me. Also on the bench as well was Odegaard, Lacazette, Ceballos, Xhaka, Mari, Cedric, and goalkeeper Ryan. A little bit surprised and disappointed that there wasn't a few more of the younger players on the bench, such as Aziz and Balogun. These are the sort of games to get them some experience of being involved in the first team squad in the Premier League, but they wasn't included at all. But other than that, that was pretty much our strongest 11 that we could have started with. In terms of Crystal Palace, obviously Roy Hodgson's last home game in charge of the club and possibly his managerial career as well. This was the side that he went with. It was Guaita in goal. Their back four was Ward, Tompkins, Cahill and Mitchell. 3 in midfield, it was Kouyaté, McCarthy and Schlupp, and then their 3 up front was Townsend, Benteke and Wilfried Zaha, of course, who's been linked to a move to Arsenal quite a lot over the summer. Another player who's also been linked with Arsenal, Eze, was injured, so he's actually out for the season, but on the bench they did have Ayew and Batshuayi as well, but they were your team lineups for this game. So it was quite a strange game in many ways, wasn't it? We had nearly 70% possession over the 90 minutes, but up until the 90-minute mark, we'd only had 1 shot on target, and that was the goal in the first half from Nicolas Pepe. Once again, it was a lot of sideways, backwards passing and keeping possession in non-dangerous areas of the pitch, and that kind of sums up how we've been playing under Mikel Arteta for most of the season. That explains why we haven't scored enough goals and why we're not going to finish higher up the league. Of course, the goal we did get in the first half was a good goal as well, wasn't it? A good move down the left-hand side. Saka's little back heel to Tierney. His cross towards the penalty spot was met first time by Nicolas Pepe with his right foot as well. Good finish actually into the corner to give us the lead, which we probably just about shaded that first half. Certainly in terms of possession, we didn't really create many chances at all. And once again, the opposition goalkeepers had a fairly easy game against us. The second half, the start of the second half followed a similar pattern. We had a lot of the possession in non-dangerous areas, but it was Crystal Palace who got the equaliser midway through the second half. A soft free kick was given away by Thomas Partey about 10 yards outside the penalty area. He does that a lot, doesn't he? He makes a few clumsy challenges, and he did so again. It was Andros Townsend with a free kick into the penalty area. I don't know where the Arsenal defence was, but Christian Benteke was there, a diving header, put it past Bernd Leno to make it 1-1. There was a VAR check. I don't know if it was an offside or whether they thought it might have been a foul in the build-up. A couple of Arsenal defenders ended up on the floor, but the goal was given, and I think rightly so, and it was 1-1. And from that point onwards, our confidence just seemed to disappear completely. It just goes to show how fragile that is. You know, the players were very structured up until that point, and as soon as we conceded the goal, all that went out the window. We couldn't string any passes together. We lost control of the game, and Crystal Palace looked the more likely team to win, maybe driven on by the 10,000 fans. And it was, of course, as I said, Roy Hodgson's last home match in charge of the club. You know, we did make a few changes. Odegaard came on, Martinelli did come on as well, and also Xhaka came on for Kieran Tierney, actually again playing in the left back position, and the changes made a difference because it was two of the substitutes, Martin Odegaard and Gabriel Martinelli, who combined for the goal that basically sealed the victory in the first minute of stoppage time. Odegaard clipped the ball in from the edge of the penalty area to the far post where Martinelli came in, sort of bundled it past the goalkeeper before slotting into the empty net. Again, there was a VAR check, maybe for a handball against Martinelli, but it was okay, and the goal stood. It actually reminded me a little bit of the goal that Mesut Ozil set up for Nacho Monreal at Swansea a few years ago. Very similar pass to the far post, which Monreal finished, and this time it was Martinelli. And of course, with Tottenham losing earlier in the day, that goal put us within 1 point of Tottenham going into the last game. Of course, they've got a tricky game, haven't they, away at Leicester. Anyway, we did manage to get another goal as well a few minutes later, virtually the last kick of the game, the best goal of the game it was as well. Nicolas Pepe picked up the ball on the right-hand side, drove into the penalty area, beat three defenders, and then slotted the ball into the far corner of the net past the goalkeeper, who maybe got a slight touch on it but couldn't keep it out to put the seal on the 3-1 victory. And I say 3 shots on target and 3 goals, and 2 of those did come in stoppage time at the end of the game. So maybe the scoreline slightly flattered us. Maybe it wasn't a fair reflection on the 90 minutes as a whole. But when you're winning the last minute away from home, you've got to be delighted. And I say it does now set up a really exciting last day where perhaps we can do it. We can catch Tottenham and shut them up for a year at least. So man of the match then, it was a difficult one to select because it wasn't a great performance all round, was it? Again, it was a fairly average performance from most of the players. I thought Bernd Leno in goal did okay. He dealt with the crosses pretty well. He looked commanding in his penalty area. Didn't really have a lot to do. Couldn't do anything about the goal that beat him, but he did make 1 or 2 saves as well. So he had a pretty solid game actually, Bernd Leno. He's been playing pretty well in recent weeks, barring that one horrendous mistake that he made, of course, against Everton recently. I thought the back four wasn't great, were they? I thought Holding and Gabriel both made a few mistakes. Holding's concentration went at times, and when you're up against someone like Benteke, can always cause problems, and I didn't think he did particularly well. Gabriel, similar, was caught out by the pace of Zaha a few times as well. I thought Chambers had a decent game actually. I thought he defended really well. He got those 2 central defenders out of trouble a couple of times, didn't he, by covering for them, and I thought he had a decent game actually. And Tierney at left back, still don't think he's fit, if I'm totally honest. He got taken off, as I said later on, for Granit Xhaka, and he's still not back to his best, is he? So disappointing from him. The 2 in midfield, I thought in the first half, Partey and El Neni did okay, didn't they? We dominated the possession of the game, but in the second half, once we conceded the goal, it kind of went to pot, didn't it? Thomas Partey's passing again was really poor. Of course, he gave away the soft free kick, didn't he, for the equaliser. He hasn't quite hit the ground running for us yet, has he? He's got a lot of improvements to make. He needs to improve. Let's hope next season he's going to come back stronger. El Neni just gave an El Neni performance, didn't he? You know what you're going to get from him. He always gives 100%. He did okay, and it was a decent enough game from him. I thought in the front four, we didn't really create enough chances, did we? That's the problem again. As I say, 3 shots on target, and 2 of those in stoppage time was enough to win this game, but it's not going to be enough to win many games, is it? Saka didn't have his greatest game, did he? He's looking very tired. He has been for a while. He got taken off. He was the first one to come off midway through the second half, just after the equaliser. Smith Rowe did pretty well again. He always looks a threat, didn't he? Make some lovely movements off the ball. Very good with the ball as well. But again, he didn't really help us to create any opportunities, really, did he? And Aubameyang was really, really poor, actually. His body language was poor. He wasn't prepared to put himself on the line to attack the balls into the box. Really, really poor from him. I'm surprised he stayed on for the whole game. So in the end, I suppose the man of the match has to go to Nicolas Pepe for his 2 goals. He had a bit of an in and out performance, if we're totally honest. Pretty much sums up his Arsenal career. He did some great things, obviously took the 2 goals really well, but also did a lot of poor things, gave the ball away far too easily and run up too many blind alleys. But overall, he made the difference in this game. So the man of the match is going to have to go to Nicolas Pepe. So yeah, we're certainly finishing the season well. We've certainly had a decent away season, haven't we? Again, 7 unbeaten now away from home in the Premier League. It's going to be 5 wins in those last 7 away games that we played, which is pretty impressive stuff. Scoring a lot of goals away from home as well. Playing with a little bit more freedom. I say it wasn't the greatest performance last night, but we got the job done. And if we'd maybe done that a bit more often in our home games, we'd be in a lot better position. But overall, it wasn't a fantastic Arsenal performance. It's really summed up everything that we've been like under Arteta. A lot of possession, but not much created. Fairly solid defensively, but still prone to concede a goal. But this time, our quality that we've got in the final third did pay in the closing stages, and we got the win. And that's the important thing. And it does now set up an exciting final day. Yes, we can't get 6th place anymore because of West Ham's victory, so we can't qualify for the Europa League. We could finish 7th, of course, which would put us into the Europa Conference League, which do we really want to be in that or not? I'm not sure. But if it means finishing above Tottenham, then it'll probably be a price worth paying. And European football next season will give us the opportunity to blood a few more of the young players. Of course, Tottenham have got a difficult game, haven't they, away at Leicester, who need the points to get in the top 4. So that's going to be a difficult game for them. It's a difficult game for us at home to Brighton. They've caused us a lot of problems in recent years. We haven't beaten them at home, have we, for a while? So it's going to be a difficult game for us. But if we can win and Tottenham do drop points, that would at least give us something to smile about. It wouldn't make up for their poor season overall, but at least it will give us bragging rights over the summer. At least we can take some joy out of what's been a very difficult season. So that's my review there of last night's victory at Crystal Palace. Not the greatest performance, but we won, and that is the main thing. Coming up on the channel, I'll be looking ahead now to that Brighton game on Sunday. I'm still hoping to get a Brighton fan on maybe tomorrow night to look ahead to that game and look at their season as a whole and discuss where they're going next season. And talking about Yves Bissouma as well, of course, a player that has been linked with a move to Arsenal over the summer, and a good signing he would be for us. So hopefully I can get that on the go for tomorrow night. And then, of course, I'll be doing my own preview of that game and also doing a live watch along as well on Sunday. I'm hoping to get some fans on it, maybe inside the stadium, to get some atmosphere from the ground. I think that'll be really good as well. You know, getting 10,000 fans in at the Emirates for the first time in 18 months nearly would be it's going to be fantastic, isn't it? So stay tuned today because loads coming up. If you haven't done so already, please get the subscribe button down in the corner there. It's free of charge. It does help the channel to grow. If you do like what I do and you want to donate to the channel, there is a link at the bottom in the description. Any money raised from there will be put back into the channel to upgrade equipment, get a green screen so I can have this studio background on all the videos that I do live as well, upgrade the equipment, camera and microphone, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, if you do like what I do and you want to help to improve the quality of the videos, then I say please feel free to drop a donation in there. That would be much appreciated. And of course, in the meantime, as we head towards the end of what's been a very tough season and a difficult season, but it is nearly over and it could still have something to make us smile about on Sunday, couldn't it? Come on, you Gunners!